From pristine white sand beaches to its rich cultural heritage, Bali has earned its reputation as one of the most iconic tourist hotspots globally. Yet, with millions of visitors flocking to the island each year, its current infrastructure is struggling to cope. Traffic congestion has become a daily issue, with overcrowded roads and snarled urban areas. Enter the Bali Urban Subway, an ambitious infrastructure project designed to link the island's most popular tourist zones efficiently. The goal? To address the mounting challenges of traffic and congestion. But how do locals feel about this development? Will it compromise Bali's unique identity? And we're diving into this topic. Most of you probably already have some idea of what Bali represents. It's consistently ranked as Indonesia's most popular travel destination and is considered one of the world's top vacation spots. Tourists are drawn to Bali for its stunning landscapes, Hindu temples, vibrant nightlife, and luxurious hotels and resorts. The island is so well known that some people even mistakenly think it's its own country. However, it wasn't always this way. Bali's transformation into the tourism giant it is today has a long and layered history. But for the sake of keeping things brief, we'll simplify it. Before the influx of tourists, Bali was a quiet island nestled in the Indonesian archipelago, primarily reliant on its agricultural sector for economic activity. Things began to shift in the 1960s and 1970s during the presidency of Suharto. Unlike his predecessor, Suharto was more open to engaging with the Western world. Under his leadership, Indonesia's economy grew, and foreign investments increased. Around the same time, Bali's airport was upgraded to accommodate international flights, connecting the island with nearby nations like Australia, China, India, and New Zealand. To this day, these countries account for a significant portion of Bali's international tourist arrivals. The increasing global accessibility brought more attention and, most notably, more investment. Bali was soon marketed to the world as the ultimate tropical paradise. With tourism on the rise, the government continued to invest heavily in infrastructure and development throughout the 1990s and 2000s. However, this came at a cost. In some cases, even historic Balinese temples were torn down to make room for new hotels and resorts. While the tourist-driven economy flourished, concerns about the environmental impact and the erosion of Bali's cultural heritage began to grow. Fast forward to today, and Bali remains one of the most significant tourism destinations worldwide. In the first 9 months of 2024 alone, the island welcomed 4.7 million international visitors, a 20% increase compared to the same period in 2023, which saw 3.9 million arrivals. Foreign investments continue to pour in, suggesting that these tourism numbers are likely to keep climbing. However, alongside the prosperity tourism has brought, unintended challenges have surfaced. Chief among them is the growing problem of over-tourism, an issue that has now taken center stage. Bali's infrastructure was not designed to handle the growing number of tourists visiting the island each year. This has resulted in major traffic congestion, particularly in popular hotspots like Kuta, Seminyak, Canggu, and Nusa Dua, all located within the densely populated Denpasar metropolitan region. The narrow roads and outdated public transport system, consisting mainly of buses, taxis, and minibuses, are struggling to meet the demands of this ever-increasing crowd. In fact, public transportation is so limited and inefficient that most people prefer using ride-hailing services like Grab or Gojek to get around. Over the years, various measures have been taken to address the worsening traffic issues. One notable example is the Bali-Mandara Toll Road, an 8-kilometer highway that connects the airport and downtown Denpasar to Nusa Dua in the south. Prior to its construction, the only connection between these areas was a single 4-lane highway. Despite this development, traffic problems have persisted. To tackle this issue on a larger scale, the government has announced a bold new project: the Bali Urban Subway. This proposed subway system will span 60 kilometers and feature 4 lines serving the Denpasar metropolitan area. While 2 of the lines are already under construction, the other 2 are still in the planning stages and may not be built at all. If completed, this will be a game changer for transportation on the island. The first line, stretching 16 kilometers, will connect Ngurah Rai International Airport to Kemagi in the northwest, passing through popular beach destinations on Bali's western coast, known for their nightlife and entertainment. The second line, running southeast for 13.5 kilometers, will link the airport to Nusa Dua, an area renowned for its luxury resorts, stunning beaches, and world-class hotels. Line 3 is planned to run from Kuta Central Parkir to Sanur, while Line 4 would connect Renon to Ubud in the north. Construction for the first 2 lines began in September 2024 with a traditional Nggarawak ceremony attended by Bali's governor and project contractors. The initial phase is expected to be finished by 2028, with the second phase projected for completion by 2031. The entire subway system is estimated to cost around $20 billion, none of which will be funded by the Indonesian government. Instead, the project will be entirely backed by private investors, with a leading Indonesian company spearheading the funding. The construction will also involve 2 additional Indonesian firms, as well as a Chinese state-owned company contributing to the project. When completed, the system will feature dual tracks for trains traveling in opposite directions. Each train will consist of 6 carriages, accommodating up to 40 passengers per carriage. Trains are expected to arrive every 10 minutes and will operate continuously 24/7. While ticket prices haven't been finalized, tourists can likely expect weekly passes to cost between $35 and $40. However, Bali residents may benefit from free travel on the system. Construction has only just started, with current work primarily focused on building the stations and a central office located in Kuta. The most challenging phase of construction, excavating the tunnels, won't start until April 2025, when the site receives 10 tunnel boring machines from one of the project's main investors. Once the digging begins, tunnels will be excavated 30 meters underground, which is twice the minimum depth required by Bali's regulations. This additional depth is intended to ensure that the construction remains well below the bustling surface activity. Notably, many of these tunnels will pass beneath some of Bali's most densely populated and busiest areas. However, not everyone is on board with the idea of the new metro system. Critics have raised concerns about the project's ambitious nature, particularly in terms of its scope and timeline. For instance, some experts believe a proper feasibility study wasn't conducted before construction began, suggesting the project may have been rushed to meet investor demands for rapid completion. On top of this, while a primary investor has been secured, the project still lacks full funding to complete all 4 proposed lines. Regardless, construction is already underway. There is also skepticism about whether the metro system will really serve local populations or primarily cater to tourists and foreign visitors. Bali's governor has emphasized the importance of considering local communities' needs during the subway's development. He has called for prioritizing Balinese workers in the construction process. These concerns are compounded by the significant involvement of China as one of the key contractors for the project, sparking fears of cultural displacement and economic imbalance. Another contentious issue is the potential impact on Bali's cultural identity. While some locals see the subway as an opportunity to boost tourism and generate economic growth, others fear it might erode the island's unique character and charm. This tension underscores a broader concern about gentrification, with many residents feeling increasingly disconnected from their homeland as large-scale infrastructure projects take shape. Lastly, there are safety concerns, particularly given Bali's location in a seismically active region. The risk of earthquakes poses a serious challenge for any underground infrastructure. A catastrophic collapse during a quake could trap passengers underground, making earthquake resilience a critical factor in the system's design. While details on the subway's safety measures haven't been disclosed, it's reasonable to assume the developers are factoring in these environmental risks, similar to how Jakarta's MRT was designed to withstand earthquakes of up to magnitude 8. So, what are your thoughts on the Bali urban subway? Do you think it'll solve the island's traffic issues, or could it end up compromising Bali's identity? Share your opinions in the comments below. And if you're interested in similar projects, check out our video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.